Greetings all. Lovely to connect with you as I'm in this open, spacious land of Maui, close to the crater of Haleakala, the dormant volcano on this island. And as I walk on this land, I so connected with what has begun to be the theme for this podcast that actually began while being on the mainland. Tuning into and feeling that call into the change of the season, the Fall Equinox, that begins to move us out of that very strong yang energy of the summer into a more balanced yang yin of the fall, and particularly of the Fall Equinox. And the yin being a kind of a reflection of that ability to drop a little more deeply within, to move out of that very action, external, possibly linear, though in the summer season we're definitely much more creative in our yang energy, in our playfulness, and in our enjoyment of the outdoors, and move more into that place of internal connection, reflection, and vastness, which very much is the yin. The yin is described as the void, though she's also creative, and the yin being in both men and women and in all of the planet Earth and in the universe as well. And so I find that this time of year I begin to feel the approaching of the change of the season, before it comes, and I feel that call to listen more deeply. I feel that call to be more still, to open up and to release, to cleanse, to clear. And so as we move into today's conversation, I want to open that up to you and connect you with our theme of vast openness, vast spaciousness. And as we open up to that vast spaciousness, often taking journeys helps us to connect with those places within us. And I find myself that coming here on a yearly basis around the Fall Equinox and bringing individuals from the mainland and other parts of the world to this place supports that alignment with the change of season and allows for alignment with synchronistic flow, in my experience, in our lives and in our livelihood. And I have definitely been experienced, as I've been on the mainland, that call to quiet. And as I came here, one of the divination cards that I pulled was quiet time. And it's so easy in our day-to-day lives to be pulled into this or that, into the demands of our day-to-day lives or our internal this or that, and we disconnect from that vast open space, that spaciousness that's always within us, and such a vital place for us to connect with. And if we are practicing in our Reiki practice and also practicing in our yoga and meditation practice, we're connecting with that daily. That's definitely something that I find with the Reiki practice, is that we really delve into that place of openness and spaciousness when we drop into that field of Reiki. And we also get that through our meditation practice as well. And for some of us, a meditation practice can be very, very difficult, and our Reiki practice helps us open up to dropping into more meditative plane and space, My Kundalini yoga meditations tend to be much more active with lots of chants. And so there's focus time after those meditations of stillness and opening up to that vastness. And when we're able to cleanse and clear, open up to that vastness, we can more easily hear our guidance and hear the guidance of our internal compass that enables us to be in synchronicity and in flow in our lives, even amidst challenges. That's what I find through my daily connection, is that even though my days may be full and there may be events that occur that are not enjoyable, there's a synchronicity even in those. And when we drop into that open, vast spaciousness, we're able to see that more because we have more perspective. We're able to distance ourselves from the challenges and be able to see it from a new perspective. And so I find that, it's essential for us to have our daily practice that allows us to have that new perspective, that allows us to cleanse and clear and renew. And I find that it's also important for us to take yearly pilgrimages, yearly journeys to those sacred places that call to us, to allow more of that cleansing and clearing and opening up to that vastness and that new perspective. Those practices, as well as these journeys, also allow us to move not only in that open vastness, but also above, as if we're standing over or not taken down into the intensities or pulls of those challenges in our lives. It allows us to be as we are, like on a mountaintop, above it all. Not so much that we are egotistically above those that are challenging us, but rather that we are just above the pull, if you will, of those challenges to take us into behaviors or thought patterns that don't serve our highest good or the highest good of the individuals involved. So this season, this Fall Equinox season, kind of is an opportunity to have a little knock on our door to invite us more deeply within and invite us to connect in with that vastness within. And so I'm so delighted to be able to record this podcast and share this vastness here. There's a dragonfly journeying with me as I speak with you, and tune you into that vastness within. That's a reflection of this vastness that I'm in right now. We go to these sacred places and we take these journeys so that we can connect with those places within ourselves and awaken them. That's what these places do. They awaken that which is within us. That's what our practice does. It awakens that which is within us. And so that stillness that is so present here, if you just open up and listen with your inner ear, that stillness is there within you. And even amidst whatever kind of external happenings that may be happening, that stillness is there. And this land reminds me of that. There's so much here that is really uncultivated by human hands. And yet there's also quite a bit of cultivation by human hands, which is really beautiful marriage of the two. And even within the cultivation of man, that vast stillness is there. Yeah. The vast open space is there within us. And so this season is an opportunity to open up to that and It's also an opportunity, the fall equinox in this season, in the native Hawaiian tradition, the creation story tells us that this time of year is a time where the veil between us and the inner realms, the higher realms, those realms that some of us may call the heavens, or some of us may call higher dimensions, and those places where we feel more that connection with God, Goddess, enlightened beings, ancestors, spiritual guides, that veil is much thinner during this time. That in the past 9 months, we are in that stage of cultivating and planting and developing and, really focused in creating, and in these 4 months at the end of the year, that veil is thin and the blessings are abound. It's a time where there's less effortfulness and more of a receiving of the harvest as we know it, on our predominant culture and in around worldwide. It's known as the harvest season, a time to harvest that which we has cultivated. And so as we align ourselves with these seasons, we're moving into the fall equinox here shortly, and even if you receive this podcast beyond the fall equinox, you can still tap into that seasons when in your life. Yeah, all seasons really kind of continually cycle through in our lives, and you can take the time to kind of reflect on what is it that you are harvesting in this season. What is it that you created that was nourishing in this past year? What was it that you experienced that was nourishing in this past year? What was a triumph for you? What was a behavior that you may have let go of? What was an action that you took that you were terrified of? What was something that somebody gave you that just filled your soul? I want to invite you that you can reflect on that, and if you like, also just taking a moment and journaling that, writing those things down in preparation for this fall equinox and an opportunity to harvest in this season. And then many of you have been through these podcasts with me and have heard me that it's also an opportunity to cleanse and clear. So you can take a time to reflect and also write down, what are those areas that are, no longer serving. I know for myself, as this season was approaching, I could definitely feel the balancing of the yang, summer, and beginning of the year into more of that yin, dropping me more into that space of listening, of connecting, of opening up to that spaciousness, and call within to also begin to cleanse and clear so I can more deeply connect with that vast spaciousness, and can also now hear the guidance in the new year for that new cultivation. And so I began to have that awareness of areas in my life and in me that, it is time to release, it is time to let go. And I was also told recently in a yoga class that we're approaching a 7-year cycle completion. And so that there's powerful shift and change happening related to the fall equinox and then this full moon eclipse that we are in, that there's a portal, if you will, if you believe in that, if there's just a change kind of universally where maybe patterns that have been bothering you or you're challenged with, they're about to shift. And your openness and willingness to release them supports that shift. And when we do that, both in reflecting and harvesting and taking in the good and then releasing, composting what is no longer serving, then we can align with the second theme of our podcast, with that synchronistic flow in our lives. And when we align with that synchronistic flow, even when there's challenges, something happens where those challenges begin to serve us. And they become very instantaneous. And those people that are causing us a lot of heartache begin to be our most amazing teachers and serve our highest good. And, those financial challenges that we feel like we're in, all of a sudden open up to incredible abundance and prosperity and opportunity. And things begin to flow in more divine alignment with our greater good. Wondrous opportunities present themselves, and we just slip into that space of living in that spaciousness of heaven here on earth. And so I'd like to tune you into this landscape here. I am, as I mentioned earlier, on the upcountry side of Maui, close to the crater Haleakala, looking out into the vast open space. Take a moment here, and if you're operating any machinery, go ahead and put that down, or go ahead and complete this podcast when you're able to just move into stillness. Take a moment here, just taking a few cleansing breaths, dropping yourself into your body, feeling the fullness of your breath flowing through your body. And for all my Reiki practitioners, taking a moment, inviting Reiki to flow through you and into your journey with me. And as any concerns arise, just bring awareness to them, notice them, and begin to let them drift off like the clouds. And come back to your breath, come back to your body. I'd like to bring you into this space here. And so just bring awareness to the soles of your feet as your eyes are closed. And just imagine yourself and your feet on this rich red soil of Maui, filled with minerals, nourishing, nurturing feel in your fingers. And just notice a path of rich red soil in front of you as you're walking up that path. It takes you up an incline, and all around this path are vibrant, rich green fields with pine trees and sycamore trees. Every once in a while you come across a hibiscus tree, a plumeria, and moving into lavender fields and rich plant all around you. And as you continue up this path, you find yourself at the top of this vast landscape, and out in front of you is the west side of Maui, with all of Kahului and Wailuku and just in front of you, and the ocean to the right and to the left of you. And all around you is this incredible stillness. And even as activity may be occurring, there's incredible stillness. And you find a spot, a bench, or a piece of grass that just calls to you, and you just rest there, sit there, or even lay there. And you just soak in the stillness, the vastness, the openness. And as concerns may rise, you just let them fall into the earth, simply consumed into the balmy air. Just feel enveloped by the ground beneath you and the warmth all around you. You begin to feel those concerns that seem so prevalent. Just take a new perspective. And as you rest here on this land, answers just naturally rise to questions you may have had. Solutions reveal themselves to problems. And a deep awareness of your connection with the goodness of the universe, the bounty of the universe, richness of the universe. And you take a moment here with the awareness of this time of year where the veil is thin, and as you are on a mountaintop, as so many individuals from time infinitum have gone to hilltops to connect, to listen, to awaken. You have the awareness that you're now so close to that presence that created all of life, created you, created your body, along with those higher beings, guides, ancestors, enlightened ones. They're all around you now. Some of them taking a hold of your hand and as if to say, they're there, all is well. Reminding you you're never alone. And one of them coming out of the crowd with a gift to give to you. Places it in your hands and invites you to take it back with you. Telling you that this is a gift from your source to help you on your path, support you on your path. And another one comes from the middle of the path and gives you this healing balm and tells you this is to place on all those areas of wounding that you've maybe carried with you in the past year or before. Take with you and to allow it to heal and to forgive. And a third one comes towards you, places its hands over your forehead and back of your head, and it's as if as soon as that's done, all thoughts and concerns just completely dissolve and just slip into this place of absolute peace. And you hear them as they whisper in your ears and tell you that we're always with you. You need to just slip into that space of openness and vastness, and we're there. We're always there, whether you do so or not, but you can hear us more clearly when you do. They remind you that that opportunity to connect is always there, even in the most challenging conditions or situations. And they also remind you that the Source and all of these higher guides can only step in and assist when we ask, because we are of free will. I want to acknowledge the concerns that you've come with and tell you that challenges may still be present when you return, but this gift that they've given you is to help you with those challenges. And the answers to your questions are also to support you on your path. And so they just invite you to just bask in their presence and bask in this open space. Just letting yourself rest and letting go. And to all my Reiki practitioners, you'll notice as you rest here and drop into this openness that the flow of Reiki begins to increase, and you feel it moving through your entire body and your aura. And you may take a moment and share some of this Reiki with these beings and with this land. Just reminding you that that exchange can occur always, often. It's receiving the gifts and sharing back, allowing that reciprocity. And now you feel that inclination of your time to return as the guides nudge you back on your path, reminding you to take that gift with you, and when you return, opening it up. And as you come back onto that red, rich soil, feeling that moistness, the soles of your feet, as it takes you and leads you right back to where you started. And as you rest in your space, you just take a moment, just again harvesting, taking in your journey, your experience, and opening up your gift. And as soon as you open it, just listen to what is that gift. For some, it's qualities. For others, it's a vision. And yet for some of us, it's just blank, which is a gift in and of itself. And you take a few deep cleansing breaths, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and giving gratitude to your journey, to your guides. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes and taking a moment and journaling your experience, and journaling that gift which was given to you. And making that commitment for yourself in this fall season to slip into that space of vastness, of openness. Reminding yourself that you're never alone. You're always guided by your own inner wisdom, by that very source that created you. And as you more deeply connect with that openness and vastness, you find that your life just takes on a new level of synchronicity and of bounty, of beauty, and of grace. I've so enjoyed sharing this space with you, and look forward to more opportunities. Should this podcast go out in time, we still have room if you'd like to join us for our Maui retreat and experience this in person. And of course, please look out at sacredventures.com or reikiunleashed.com for our upcoming events, trainings, workshops. I'm always available for one-on-one sessions supporting you on your path, whether in person or over the phone. And I leave you today with this invitation to drop out of the ruminations and concerns of your mind and of the world around you, and to live more from your heart. And what I mean by your heart, just from your joy, from your enjoyment. And to invite that vastness and openness into all the areas that you may go in your life, so that rather than being taken down into the drudges of the demands and challenges, you actually are uplifting and elevating others around you. That is really the true gift of this path, is to be so full that we just naturally fill and elevate others simply through our presence. And so with that, I send you rich aloha blessings, wishing you a most delicious fall season, and I look forward to connecting with you in whatever way our paths connect us in. Much aloha, Reiki, love, namaste, Satnam.